amount of debt. One of them uses the snowball method. The other one uses the avalanche method. The other one uses the P.I.L.L method. Do you realize because the snowball and the avalanche methods generally just focus in on the amount of debt that you have, what we do is that we focus on the interest cost on that debt. And because of that, the avalanche method will pay off your debt faster. All right, will pay off your debt faster than normal. The snowball method will pay down your debt faster than normal. But the P.I.L.L method will generally save you $50,000 to $75,000 more in interest than those two methods. What good is paying off your debt fast when you have to pay 50 grand in interest more than you needed to because we weren't focusing on interest cost? Folks, it's interest. It's the cost of managing the loan that keeps you in debt forever, not the debt itself. So the very best loan, Jared, the very best loan to have is a loan that has 0% interest. The second best loan is one where you can make sure you're paying the least amount of interest that's mathematically possible for you. I'm excited to get started today, sir. Come on, let's go ahead and do just that, Jared.
All right. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the best room on Clubhouse. How to pay off mortgages in 7 years. Thank you to the three people that have shared this room. I'm going to go ahead and lead by example. So what you do if you want to share this room, and you definitely do after hearing that introduction, is you click that where it says number 3, go ahead to the top and click share on Clubhouse. I'm going to drop some fire emojis because we're about to get some fire information right now. And as you can see, once I click share, the number changed to 4. Now it's 5. Let's get that number up to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's get this information shared because for our community to know how to look at banks, how to look at amortization schedules, how to look at interest costs, and then create generational wealth opportunities for everybody in our networks. So please share the room. We're really excited about this conversation. This is being live streamed on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. So if you are listening from those platforms, thank you for being in the room, and also share this to your network via these platforms, and also write your questions into the chat. We want to make it interactive for you as well, and we want to answer your questions. So feel free to write your questions into the chat, and we will see them, and we will go through the examples for you. If you want to see this live on your screen, you have an iPad, a desktop, or a laptop nearby, go ahead and open up those devices and type in ice10kvideos.com. And once you get there, you'll see one of the panels that says live. Click that, skip the commercial, and go ahead and watch this on your screen. And you will really help you understand the information. If you want to see this, the instructions written out, go ahead and go to the chat and you will see the instructions. So what we're going to do is some quick moderator introductions, which is going to be super quick because there's only 2 of us today so far. I'll start pinging some more people in. And then also, when you click that share symbol, if you know somebody that has a mortgage coming up, student loan debt, credit card debt, or car loan debt, which is pretty much everybody, you can go ahead and ping in specific individuals as well. Bring them into the room so they can ask questions or they can see this in real time. All right, so I'll go ahead and kick off with myself. My name is Jared Albert. I've been in tech for over 15 years. My passion is getting more diversity in tech, but also getting more diversity in the metaverse, NFT space, and crypto space. So if you're interested in any of that, check me out on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, Clubhouse. All right, up next is Ali.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alex Jones, and I'm in the lovely state of Texas. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and we love helping buyers fire their landlords so that they become the lord of their own land before and after. You can utilize the very information that Don's sharing with you. We also work with investors and sellers to liquidate assets and acquire many others. So go right ahead and share this room because if you have not heard this message before, you are going to be amazed. This is a phenomenal room to be in. You can reach me at valley10k.com.
And before I pass it back to Don, I just want to emphasize that this room is all about being interactive. So if you have a question, please don't be shy. We really appreciate you raising your hand, coming on stage, and just know there are no dumb questions. Your real estate professionals, your accountant, your financial advisors, none of them think about the banks and mortgages in the way you're going to see today. So go ahead and ask questions, and we would love to be able to walk through examples that are going to help you, but also help the entire audience. So don't be shy, raise your hand, come on stage. Until somebody comes on stage, Don has a ton of examples of people that he's helped save tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So Don, what is the first example that you would like to show today? Or actually, before you do that, let people know exactly what they can get out of today's room. And then if nobody raised their hand, then what example would you like to show?
Well, first of all, folks, my name is Don Daniel. I'm the founder of P.I.L.L Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. We have a book by the same name. It's been #1 on Amazon at least 5 different times. It is the only book on Amazon that out of 33 million titles, it's the only one that talks about how to read and understand an amortization schedule and how to defeat it. So, folks, when we're talking about this, we try to break it down into a very complicated system and simplified terms. So we want to know this is what P.I.L.L stands for: prepayment of principal, isolating the principal amount, leverage, and liquidity. What happens when we prepay? Or what happens when you pay more than the minimum payment? Well, you save time and you save interest. But most folks have no idea how much time and how much interest they're saving. In fact, if I gave your accountant, the very accountant, or your CPA, the very one that's doing your taxes right now, if I gave your CPA $500 and asked your CPA to apply that $500 to their mortgage principal, now tell me, Mr. or Mrs. CPA, how much interest did you just save? Do you know they would not be able to tell me? Because that was not part of their education to know what happens when you prepay, because all we do is we focus on how much we owe. Yeah, I reduced how much I owe by $500, but how much interest did that save me? Oh my, did you realize if you could do the measurements, you could figure out, let's say you could save $6 in interest for every dollar you apply to principal. So that's $500 times $6. So you can figure out how much interest you could save with that $500 if you were saving $6 for every dollar. But what if you did it in a different month or on a different day of the month? And now you're only saving about $3 for every dollar. Now you're knocking the principal down by $500, but that's a big difference, saving $6 per dollar than $3. So how would you know the difference if you didn't have a way to measure? Folks, you can't optimize what you cannot measure. And what the P.I.L.L method brings you is a way to measure so that you can know exactly what to do and when to do it with your money. Using your current budget, you don't need to make more money. You can use your current budget. You don't have to sacrifice lifestyle, meaning you don't have to cut back on the way that you live life. In fact, I have clients in here right now, and any of my clients know they can raise their hand, come up on stage, and just talk a little bit about their experience. They can do it anytime they want. But I just want you to know that people are finding out that what they have been told about how finances work, Jared, is a lie. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have much money. My mom was a single mom raising 4 kids. And since I was the oldest, when she went to work, I kind of took care of things around the house. And when she would send me to the store, I would go to the store a lot to pick up stuff for dinner. And I did not realize how poor we were, but I did know, and this still rings in my ear today. When she would send me to the store to get things, it wasn't about get this particular brand or get this particular quality. It was get the cheapest. Whatever was on the shelf, I'm supposed to look at whatever I'm supposed to get and get the cheapest one each and every time. That's how I grew up, getting the cheapest. And I'm telling you, that stays with you for a long time and how you think about money and how you handle money. When we were growing up, we would pay on the bills. You know, we would pay on the electric bill. We would pay on the gas bill. We would pay on the water bill. And sometimes we didn't pay it fast enough, and things would get turned off. We eventually get it turned back on. But man, coming up that way and having a mindset set in that kind of mode, it's tough to get out of when you finally realize we don't live in a world of scarcity. We actually live in a world of abundance. And changing that mindset, meaning how do you take money that is supposed to be invested in your family, and we're taking that money and giving it to the banks and paying 75% more interest than we need to pay. Folks, it's time out for that. We want you to know the truth about your money. And today we're going to learn some of that truth. And I pray that you will, some light bulbs will go off, that you will get information that you never heard before, because what we're going to be talking about is throwing away everything you've ever learned about financial literacy and replace it with the new financial literacy. And I'm excited to get to it today. Jared?
Awesome. I see we have a question, so I just invited you up. Go ahead and accept the invite, and we would love to hear your question. Until she comes up, I would love for Credit Goddess to quickly introduce herself, and then we will get to that question. And please, if you're in the audience and you're like, what is he talking about? How can I make a mortgage that takes 30 years paid off in 79? How do I look at the refinance? How do I look at my down payment? How can I get my student loan paid off before I'm in a wheelchair? These are things that you can come on stage and ask questions about. But Credit Goddess, quick introduction, please, and then we're going to give the mic to Michelle.
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. My name is Rose Laura Lewis, also known as Credit Goddess. I'm all things credit and the official credit expert for the P.I.L.L Method crew. I'm a credit score improvement strategist, business credit consultant, and an educator at B.RRRR University. And I'm here to support Don and you guys, so that way we can learn how others are building generational wealth by saving on interest costs. So feel free to come up on stage and ask your questions. Thank you.
Awesome. And while Don is going through this example, if your mind is being blown, you're like, wow, this is amazing, go ahead and click that share option. Keep sharing this room. We really appreciate it. All right, Michelle, thank you so much for coming on stage and asking the first question. Please let us know what your question is. And Michelle, you just have to go to the bottom right-hand corner where that microphone icon is. Click that, and it'll unmute so we can hear you.
Wow, Michelle was there.
Michelle, if you're trying to speak, just go to the bottom right-hand corner, click that microphone icon so that we can hear you. All right. She might be having technical difficulties, or she might be new to Clubhouse. But until then, Don, what example do you want to kick this off with until we're able to figure out Michelle's audio issue?
Well, first of all, I see some of my clients out in the audience, and I would like to encourage them to come on up because we have another hand that just went up, Jared, just because they're my clients. I can't tell you who they are. I would bring them up, but I can't do that because we have a responsibility for anonymity. So if my clients are out there, you want to come on up, please come on up and tell us a little bit about your experience with it. Just raise your hand, click that little hand with the tablet looking thing, raise your hand and come on up and tell us what you're thinking about or talking about. And so Jared, back to you about this, because I believe we have a question.
Awesome. Yes, Chanel, thank you so much for coming to the stage. Please let us know what your question is.
Good morning, Jerry. Good morning to everyone in the room. I'm just curious, as far as, I know you said no question is dumb. I'm in the middle of paying off like some debts now, and I just kind of used my own method to just cut out different things, like cut out buying fast food, cut out buying, just coffee and frappes and things like that, and just dedicating that money to paying down debt, solely paying down debt. And I was able to pay off like 3 credit cards, with just realizing how much I actually spent on fast food, dining out, and things like that. And it actually amounted to about maybe like $1,200 a month in just extracurricular dining. So, is there a better way? And I'm guessing there is a better way, because I'm very excited to hear about the pill method. And I just want to thank you, Jared, for always giving us really good feedback and informative information that we can use to better our lives. So thank you so much.
Chanel, it's pronounced Chanel, right?
Yes.
Good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, sir.
All right. Listen, do you mind if I ask a few questions, and then I might be able to give you some good information on how to better eliminate debt?
Sure.
So you had so you say you had credit cards. Do you also have any other type of loans other than credit cards?
I have a student loan also.
Okay, student loan. But right now you don't have a mortgage?
No.
Okay. All right.
Not anymore. No.
All right. So let's take a look at that. So when you were putting that money together, and you've heard never pay the minimum payments on credit cards. You've heard that, correct?
Yes, for my dad.
All right. Were you paying more than the minimum on more than one card?
Yes.
Okay. So right there, what we're doing is your scope was too broad. Okay. So you're putting extra money on more than one card, when if we had concentrated it. Okay. So have you ever used a magnifying glass?
Absolutely.
And have you ever used it in the sunlight? And
no.
And concentrated that beam from the magnifying glass? If you concentrate that beam, it will actually burn wood and paper. So the wider the beam, the colder the beam. The narrower the beam, the hotter the beam. So when you want to focus on getting out of debt, you want to focus on one, so that you can put all of your resources towards that one. Now, let's try to choose which one we're going to concentrate on. All right. And then what we want to do is not concentrate on the one with the least amount of debt. We don't want to concentrate on the one with the highest interest rate. What we want to try to figure out is which one is costing me the most in interest each month. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the other thing we want to try to focus on. You said that you were cutting out different things out of your lifestyle and using that money to put on the debt. Let me ask you, if you were to take a look at how much money you were making and how much money you were spending, just to manage everything after all the bills are paid, about how much money would be left over? You don't have to be exact, but can you give us an estimation about how much would be left over?
Say the question one more time.
Okay.
You said if I was to take
all your bills, and at the end of the month, how much money would be left over after all the bills were paid? Everything is satisfied. Everything is done. Food bought, everything.
I would have to say, it would probably, that's without the extracurricular stuff, right?
No, even with the extracurricular stuff.
Okay, so with the extracurricular stuff, now, like if with my current lifestyle now,
Mhm.
there's about, I would say about like 5,600 to 7,300 left.
Okay, you mean left over after all the bills are
Mhm.
paid?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now, do you still have debt right now?
Very little, actually.
Okay. So let's go
I have,
back.
I have,
Let's go back to when you had all of that debt.
okay.
Okay. About how much money would be left over at that point when you had all of that debt?
Um, Nothing, because I was on chemo like 3 days a week, so nothing.
Okay, okay. So what you were doing is that, so if nothing was left over, you were creating that something by cutting some things out.
Right.
Okay. Well, and congratulations. I too am a cancer survivor.
Thank you. Congratulations to you.
Okay. So here's what we're talking about. So if once we get how much money we are bringing in and how much money we're spending. So let's take a look at it this way. Um, we want to be able to manage our budget, and a budget is not supposed to be restrictive. What we do with our budget is so that we can track our money. So generally, when you hear budget, that's kind of a negative word. Would you say?
I like it. It actually
You
keeps me
like it?
structured.
Okay, gives you structure. Okay, so here's how we're looking at that structure. Okay, we know how much money we're
Mhm.
making per month. So we start out there. Then the next thing is now, how much do we want to spend on lifestyle? Have you figured out how much you want to spend just on you and your family just to have some fun? Have you figured out how much that is per month?
Yes.
Okay.
The crazy thing about it
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
if it were just me, I'm more of a miser.
Yeah.
So I would probably spend maybe like $200, like,
Okay.
because I'm a couponer. But because I have one in college,
Mhm.
one getting married, and two with Asperger's, autism, and the one that's deaf with sickle cell.
Mhm.
It kind of it changes everything, the trajectory of everything financially. Because prior to them, there was money out the wazoo, but trying to adjust, you don't know what car's life is going to deal you.
Yeah.
So prior to them coming into the picture, I was on top. Like I was very much on top. My credit score was like a 794,
Mhm.
and I was rocking out. My dad always taught us to have no debt, to treat every card like an American Express card, pay it off or don't use it.
Okay.
So this method worked for a long time
Mhm.
until I developed leukemia in 2015.
Mm.
And between 2015 and 2019, I mounted up about $173,000 in debt from chemo.
Right.
So I own my own business. I worked in the media. I worked for a television company, and outside of the television company I worked for 9 years, I also had my own. I had two other companies. Now I'm at my third company, which is a complete flop, and created a lot of debt. And I had climbed out of debt with a really successful juice company,
Mhm.
and that was able to garner about $13,000 a week. So,
Wow.
and it's still climbing like that, still doing good like that,
Okay.
which is excellent. And that helped me get out of all of the debt that I wanted to get out of. And then I started a selfie museum. I don't know why I did this, but I threw
Wait,
about
wait, 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 wait,
$113,000.
wait a minute. Selfie museum? You know, you got to break
Yeah.
that down for us.
So Selfie Museum is like social media,
Mhm.
very social media friendly. It's very influencer friendly, and it's basically a hub of rooms, like 40 different rooms, and they're theme rooms, good for people that are into like cosplay, and good for people that just want really, really beautiful backgrounds. Like maybe it's just flowers, and we have like a money gun room, and then we have like a LED swing room and a karaoke stage and a live ice cream bar and things like that. We had like wedding rooms and gender reveal rooms and things like that. So everything that's today,
Mhm.
everything that appeals to Gen Z and parents of Gen Z, basically. Yeah. So that's what it was all about. But unfortunately, the mall that I had my store in, my store is almost 7,000 square feet.
Right.
They get no foot traffic. So
Okay.
14 stores closed around me. So it just
Wow.
mounted that.
So
Yeah.
here's what we're talking about right now. So now, if we were to go back to where you have structured your income and your outgo. So here's what I'm saying. Figure out how much money you want to spend on you and your family each month, just to have some fun. Okay. That's going to be important. Other programs say, listen, don't spend any money there. Take all of that money and throw it at the debt. So that's a little bit of what you were doing. Let's say, okay, let me cut out my frappuccinos. Let me cut this out. Let me cut this out. Let me cut this out. Let's take that money and put it on the debt. Okay. So what we're saying is have your lifestyle, because psychologically you need to feel good about what you're doing. You don't want to feel as if you're only working to pay bills.
Alexa, set volume to 2.
Okay, so take a little bit out for yourself. So once you do that, the next thing you're going to do is say, okay, how much money are we going to put away for the future? You know, the 401ks or the whatever your job is doing to make sure that you have something to retire on. And maybe you're saving for the kids' college, but putting away money for savings. So those are two things. The third thing is making sure you're paying at least the minimum payments on your debt. Don't get behind. Pay the minimums on the debt.
I think my biggest fear is like having debt prior to chemo and everything like that. My older son was entering into college at the time, and with him, I told him the importance of never getting a student loan. So for him, I paid for his entire education out of pocket so that we wouldn't have any debt.
So here's what we're going to talk. Here's what we're going to talk about. All right, and I was talking about mindset earlier. All right, my mindset was my mom would tell me to get the cheapest, and that stayed with me forever. I mean, it's still with me today. All right. And I'm looking at things and I said, you know what? I've got the cheapest thing over here, but I've got something that's a little bit more expensive, but it's going to last for me longer. It's a better value if I spend the extra bucks. Okay. So let me try to stop right here, right now. And let's talk about mindset for a little bit, and then we'll get back to the other stuff. Is that okay? Okay. Yes. All right. Now, I've also heard that cash is king and that borrowing money is a no-no. That can get you into trouble. All right. But I also have learned that success leaves footprints. And you want to see who's going to be successful and with money, and see how I can follow their example so I can be successful too. Let me ask you, I don't know where you live, but the tallest buildings downtown, who owns the tallest buildings downtown where you live?
I believe it's the Naples family. I'm here in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Scranton, Pennsylvania. All right. And what's housed in that building? So I'm trying to get to, are the banks the tallest buildings downtown?
PNC is tall, but I don't think it's taller than the Naples building.
Okay. All right. But the banks are pretty close to it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They're right next to it, actually.
They're right next to it. So here's what I'm talking about. Did you realize the banks are the biggest borrowers in town?
Yes.
Now, whose money are they borrowing?
Ours.
Okay. And what are they doing with that money?
Flipping it and reversing it, as Missy would say.
Okay. And then what are they paying us for the use of our money to make all of that money?
Nothing.
Oh my gosh. Isn't that a plan? They're not, they don't subscribe to our cash is king. They subscribe to using everybody else's money as king, leveraging it, making money with it, and paying little to nothing for the use of it. If we knew how to do that, could we be as successful as the banks?
Absolutely. I'm in the midst of I'm in the midst of doing what the bank did with the juice company. It's kind of like the same approach where you take other people's money to become successful. Is one of the things my dad said, never use your own money.
Okay.
He's like, never use your own. I had it down pat. I'm telling you, until everything cancer hit and it just destroyed everything.
Okay. But that can tend to make us gun shy of getting in, using and leveraging somebody else's money. See, there's a difference between getting in, debt that you can't get out of, and then and using somebody else's money to benefit, putting it to work, leveraging it. There's a difference, and the banks have become expert at it. So why can't we borrow their money, get a big old benefit for using their money, and then pay them pennies on the dollar for the use of that money?
I don't know. I believe we can. We just need to know the way, like the science or the formula.
There you go. There is a formula. Oh my gosh. There you go. Come on now. There is a formula, and we're going to get to that. But right now, I just want to talk about the mindset to be able to venture on that ground with courage. I'm not saying without fear, but with courage. Courage overcomes fear. Okay. And I got a guy on the stage that can talk about that. His name is Sean 10K. And so he talks about courage, overcoming fear all the time. So, and give him an opportunity to speak in just a minute. But folks, listen, when we get to that point, we can then take some lessons from the bank and benefit our families, because now I love the bank. I love them. I get their money all the time, but I've learned how to borrow it at a discount. Do you love discount shopping? I know you do, because you're a couponer.
Yeah, I'm a couponer.
Come on. She's a couponer, folks.
I never pay full price for anything.
Listen, and all you have to do is get to that point where we can teach you how not to pay full price for your money.
I'm with it.
You're with that?
I'm totally with it, yes.
Okay, so now, we're going to get back to our building our example. Our example is this. So we've got money coming in. We've got how much money we spend on ourselves so that we can feel good. Then we're going to put money away for savings, and then we're going to make the minimum payments on our debt, and then we pay all the rest of the bills. Okay? All the rest of the bills are done.
Yeah.
So that's everything. Then what do we do with the money that's left over? It doesn't have a purpose at that point. It's called discretionary funds.
Okay.
So once we figure out what our discretionary funds are, then we can how can we use those discretionary funds to attack the debt? All right. Are you in a position to get to a tablet or computer so that you can see our examples this morning? All right. Yes. So go to your computer or whatever, and then you want to type in ICE. That stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. ICE 10kvideos.com. That's the number 10, the letter K, videos.com, and it'll take you to our YouTube channel. I
was there when Jared said it earlier.
Okay, too. Good.
Go back on.
All right, so get there, and then what we're going to show you is a little bit about how we can use the bank's money at a discount, and we can get out of debt faster and easier by focusing, number one, measuring, number two. You cannot optimize what you cannot measure. And what we're doing is interest cost is a waster. It wastes our money. And this is what I mean by this. The average family spends 35 to 39% of their take-home pay on interest alone. Just on the interest, not the entire payment, just the interest portion.
Right.
So if we're paying that much on interest, that means for every dollar I put on the debt, too much of that money is going to interest, especially on a mortgage. Can you imagine for every dollar I put on my mortgage to be in a position where 75 to 80% of that dollar is going to interest and only 20% is paying down my debt? That's why it takes 30 years to pay off a mortgage. That's the only reason why.
Right.
Has nothing to do with how much I owe. It has everything to do with how much of my dollar that I'm using to pay down the debt is actually going to interest and how little is going to the principal that I borrowed. All we have to do is do a little bit. You mentioned it yourself. We just need a different formula so that we can switch that thing around. So more of our money goes to the debt and less money goes to interest.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to put something on the screen right now. It's our amortization calculator. And I need to know if you can see it once it comes up. So it's going to be a few seconds behind. And did you click on the live session?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the live session right now, right?
Right. It should be a live session on YouTube. You should see a little button that says live and click on that.
I see it says home playlist, community channels.
How to,
and then
so you should be
I see it. It says 5 watching.
There you
that
go.
one?
Yeah. So yeah, and all right. So you're in how to pay off mortgages in 7 years.
Equity levels have reached record highs. Say that for me once more time.
Yeah.
How to pay off mortgages in 7 years, 330.22. That one, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what you want to do is turn down the volume on your computer and skip the commercial.
Okay.
So I got the, I got that on. So because on YouTube, if you play YouTube's commercials, they'll actually pay you money.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know that.
All right. Yeah. So I get a check from them practically every month.
Okay.
All right. So now, do you see our amortization calculator here?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to change this number to $200,000. Okay.
Okay.
And we have at 6% interest. Because the way we make decisions about our money, and let me see if I can make these numbers just a little bit bigger. That might be too big. All right. So now we look at the payment that we have to make, and if the payment and a payment paying $1,199.10, that's less than $1,200 mortgage payment. And most people are paying more than that for their rent. So they say, well, shoot, if I'm paying that for rent, I can certainly pay this for my own house, correct?
Right.
So we focus on the payment, but not on what it costs to manage this debt. So let me scroll down here, and we're going to scroll to the summary. And when the summary catches up on your screen, you will see that I'm borrowing $200,000, but the interest that we need to pay is $231,676 in interest on a $200,000 loan. Now, let me ask you, is $231,000, is that 6% of $200,000?
You say, is that 6% of $230,000? I don't think so. I think it's a little more.
Yes, it's a lot more. It's actually, if you look over to the right-hand side, it's actually 115% of it. So we're actually paying more in interest than we're borrowing in principal, but the interest rate is 6%. Well, we're actually paying back 115%.
Oh, I just totally missed that. I saw the principal borrow was 200. I saw total interest paid was 231, but I saw total repaid is 431,676. So yeah, it paid over 100% of the loan. That's outrageous,
isn't it? So that's like buying one house for you and one house for the bank. Are you interested in buying a house for the bank?
No.
Okay. She said no. So let me go down and show you what's going on with this thing. And we're scrolling down to payment number 1. And then payment number 1, so we got the headings right above. Principal, we got interest, we got cumulative principal, we got cumulative interest, and we got principal balance. Can you see all 4 columns?
I can.
And the very first payment, how much of that money goes to principal, paying down the loan?
$199.10.
And how much goes to interest?
$1,000.
How much of that $1,000 helps you?
None.
Who does it help?
The bank.
Come on. Is that why we bought this house?
No.
$1,000 goes to them. So let me tell you, if you know the formula, if you know what they're doing, we can come up with a way to take a look at this thing, and we can save money at the same rate they're charging us. What?
Mm.
Do you mean the amount of, look at each interest payment on each line. Do you mean we can save that money and not pay it at the same
I
rate?
need to know how to do that.
Okay, let me tell
I
you.
definitely need to know how to do that.
Let me tell you first how I figured this out. Okay, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't figure it out. I have Asperger's. When I look at this thing, I see the patterns. I see patterns in pictures. And when I see the patterns, they leap out at me and say, why are we doing it this way when if we did it a different way, we could actually save the money that we are paying. So I'm not, some people are skilled in math. That's not me. I look at this amortization schedule and I'm saying, if we did things slightly different, if we knew how to read it, we could do something about it. So when you told me you had 2 children with Asperger's, I mean, I'm relating to you all over the place. Cancer survivors,
Yeah, absolutely.
Asperger's, and so we're gonna talk to you about how we look at this thing. So let's take a look at it from payment number 1. $199.10 goes to principal. That means we subtract that from the $200,000 that we owe. We're left with $199,800.90 on the principal balance. The bank takes the principal balance, does their math gymnastics, and then we figure out that now on line 2, we owe less, so we're going to pay less interest. And your interest cost goes all the way down on line 2 to what?
The interest cost goes down to $999.
A dollar
you
difference.
Save the penny.
Yeah. So that dollar goes over.
Dollar, yeah.
Yep, that dollar goes over to the principal. So now it's $200.10 and $9.99 in interest. So your payment remains the same. That's what amortization does. We need a low payment, but the banks have a system whereby they can charge a lot of interest on the money we borrow. But guess what? We don't have to pay all of that interest. And this is why people say stay away from the debt, because you're going to pay a lot of interest. But what if you found out what they were doing and you didn't have to pay that interest? How about that? Would you have a different idea of a different view of debt?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how we can make that work for us. Let's say we make this first payment in January. We make our payment in January and we don't owe anything till February, correct?
Yeah.
And I say, take a look at this schedule and tell me, how much principal do I pay in February? What's my principal payment in February, Chanel?
$200.10.
Based on what you know to be true, do I have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10?
No, I never do.
Okay, if I had it, could I give it to them in January?
Yes.
All right, if I did, you realize all of this money goes to principal. I've already paid the interest for January. I don't have to pay any more interest. All of this money, $200.10, goes to principal. So in January, I'm paid down to line 2, where I would owe $199,600.80.
Right.
So now my next payment for February now is not on line 2, but on which line of the schedule?
It's on line 3.
Exactly. I paid $201.10 and $998. Guess what just happened? We got rid of one line off our amortization schedule. One full payment gone, not for $1,200, but for only $200.
Right.
And what happened to the $999 on line 2? What happened to that?
That disappeared.
It disappeared. It was canceled. We never have to pay it.
Right.
If more people knew that, would they feel better about borrowing money?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been paying extra on your loans the whole time, but did you have any idea how much interest you were saving? Did the bank ever send you a receipt saying, here's how much interest you saved?
They didn't, but my dad, he's had perfect credit my entire life,
Mhm.
like my entire life. And I was telling him, like, I could be honest with him and say, Dad, I owe X, Y, Z, and it's just, I'm just tired. Like, I feel stuck. Like, I can't. And he's like, well, this is what you do. Like, tell me the real number.
Yep.
Tell me what you owe. And basically what he did, I'll take Capital One, for example, because I managed to pay it off. And he was like, what I want you to do, I told him I'm on auto pay, where they just take $40 out a month. He was like, that's cute. He said, but what I want you to do, I don't want you to skip the auto pay.
Uh-huh.
What I want you to do is, like, and he was the one who suggested cutting out Starbucks. And he's like, how much are you spending on Starbucks? Mm-hmm. And I was telling him, I said, it's not really me, it's really the kids. Like, I'm spending like 60 to down because of inflation, about $70 a day, to anywhere from $70 to about $130 a day on like little things like fast food and Dunkin' Donuts. And, if they're going out to eat with friends and, our mom. So I'm like footing the bill.
Right.
And he's like, oh my God. He's like, look, you're spending $1,240 a month. That's where your money's going. Like, to all this. He's like, you don't want to cut some of that down? I'm like, you know what? He's like, when you guys were kids, McDonald's was a luxury. Like, we did not go to McDonald's every day. I don't know what this is with this new generation.
Yeah.
He's old school. So he's like, but you guys need to cut it out. It's not healthy. It's not good. And you have a juice company. You know all about nutrition. Like, this needs to stop. So I'm like, all right. I felt guilty. And he's like, you don't want to go back on chemo. I'm like, okay, Dad. So, so with all of that, it drove me, I'm an extremist. I'm from one extreme to the other. I'm going to do great. I'm going to just flop.
Okay.
But, I went home and I put it together and I looked at the receipts and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can do way better. I'm like 3 weeks of no, 3 months of no extracurricular, bad foods anyway would pay off a card. So I sat. Say it again?
Go ahead.
So I sat my children down. I told them basically what I was going to do. And within 1 month, I'm really structured. Am I muted?
Yo, you're good. Somebody else was trying to speak.
But what I did was I ended up paying off one card and I got so excited that I wanted to do it again. And it kept asking me, do you want to skip the auto pay on the first? Or do you want to apply this payment in the auto? So I never skipped the auto pay.
Right.
But I would pay like $300 to $500 at a time. And the card was done.
Now let's talk about that. The reason why the card was done faster is because of that extra money. You disrupted the bank's timing and that money went to principal. No interest came out of that money. The extra money. So let me show you what happens when we do this. Okay. So let's just say, and now you said something about $1,200. Okay. Let me show you something. If we make this payment in January and I give the bank an extra $200 here, $200.10, an extra $201.10, and an extra $202.10, that's $603.30. You see that? I'm going to give that to the bank on top of my regular $1,200 payment.
Right.
What happens to these 3 interest payments?
They delete it.
And if we were to round that up, that's almost how much money?
$3,000.
We just saved $3,000 in interest for taking half your Starbucks money and applying it to this mortgage. And we knock out 3 payments we never have to make. How valuable is that?
That's really valuable.
Okay, now let's take a look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. Because right now, are you planning on buying a home for yourself?
I plan on doing it again.
Okay, so here's what you want to know. Let's take a look at 12 months into this thing, 1 whole year. Cumulative principal adds up all the principal payments for a year. That comes to $2,456 and a penny that we're working very hard to pay this mortgage down. But cumulative interest tells us how much interest we paid in a year.
$11,933.19.
Nearly $12,000. And let me ask you, should it cost $12,000 to pay your loan down by $2,456?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And here is what happened when you are paying extra. We're going to draw back the curtain and let you see what's going on behind that curtain the next time you're able to get into this mortgage and pay off your home in about 7 to 9 years instead of 30 years to never. Okay?
Yes.
Here's my question. We know that eventually we're going to give the banks the $2,456 and a penny because that's the money that we borrowed, correct?
Right.
Do we have to pay it in 12 monthly installments though?
No.
If I had it, could I give it to the bank on line one all at one time?
Yes.
Would they have to subtract it from what I owe?
Right.
Will I be paid down to line 12 in 1 month instead of 12 months?
I would like to think so.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well,
Because I had a similar situation.
let me finish
but
this.
It wasn't with a house.
Let me finish this point up first, and then we'll go to your question.
Okay.
Because we don't want to disrupt your flow here.
Okay.
So if I give that to the bank on line one, I pay down to here in 1 month. Right?
Right.
What happens to all the interest payments between line 2 and line 12?
All of that should be deleted.
It's deleted. So I'm paid down to here, not for $11,933.19. All it cost me is the $1,000 on line 1 to do the exact same thing.
Got it.
Do you see what we're talking about now? Do you see why it's so important to be able to read this amortization schedule? And see, the way this thing is set up is that you're never supposed to learn how to read this thing. And it wasn't by accident that you were in this room this morning. I believe it was by design. And you're going to understand me a lot better because you have kids who have Asperger's. So me being autistic, I was able to see this. And now we're sharing this with people all over the world. I have found my purpose. And my purpose is helping people have a brand new mindset about their money and what they can do with it and stop spending your children's inheritance on interest and leverage the bank's money to buy your home, to buy education, to buy. I use the bank's money for everything, but I don't pay them all the interest for that. Now, why would I use the bank's money for paying for education? Here's why. Because by the time I get through with those loans, the effective interest rate on the loans are about 1%. When I take a look at how much interest I actually pay. So if I can take my money and invest it and make 7, 8, 10% with it, am I better off investing my money or using my money to pay for stuff? You see, we have seed and we have harvest. Your money is a seed.
Yes.
So what I'm asking you, are you eating your seed or are you eating the harvest? Paying cash for stuff is eating the seed.
Gotcha.
Your money should be making babies.
Gotcha.
Take the bank's money and use it and pay them pennies on the dollar for the use of it. You leverage their money. You get a big old benefit for it while your money is making more money.
Money. Okay.
That is the story we learned from the banks.
Okay.
Do you have one more question for me this morning?
Yeah, I was in the midst of like paying off a car, and this is how I kind of found out about what you're talking about right here. Because I had been paying the car for like 3 years, and I just called because I had the juice company. I was like, I got on fire. I told you I'm an extremist, so I was like, I paid off the cards. I'm gonna pay off my car, like, and I called the bank, and I was like, hey, I've been paying on this car for 3 years. I was just curious as to what's the payoff balance. And they were like, 20,000, whatever. Well, I'm like, 20,000? Like, I already gave you over 20,000. How is it still 20,000 left? Like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, it's 20. I said, well, can you break that down? Because every month, I'm giving you guys $580 a month. there's no way in the world that I should still owe another 20-some thousand. He goes, well, what went to the principal was only,
Yeah.
I think it was like 4,000 and something. I was like, look, dude, I'm not in the mood to play with you right now.
Yeah.
Like, actually, your interest rate was really high, because I had a repossession during chemo. And so for the first time in my life, I went from having interest rate of like 4% or no percent on a car to 19.9, whatever I signed. I was like, oh my God, slap me and call me silly.
Right.
And that 19% interest, I never realized how much 20% can double stuff.
Yeah.
Like, really exponentially just double stuff. And I was on the phone crying my eyes out because for the first time I felt like I was at the beginning of the loan again when I'm ready to buy another.
Okay. Let me show you something. Okay. Let me show you something that people don't realize. The higher the interest rate, the easier it is to pay off the loan once you've learned what I just taught you. When my parents bought a house, back in the day, it was about $60,000. You know what the interest rate was back then in the 50s and the 60s?
No. What was it?
Right around 12%.
Oh.
Right around 12%. So this is the payment, 617.
So it was higher back then?
Oh yeah, it was way higher. 12%.
Wow.
Okay, ask your dad. Okay, and he may have to, depending on how old you are, he may have to go back to his dad, his parents. All right, but anyway, there's 12% on that, and there's the payment. When you take a look at that, $60,000, how much interest do they want on? I'm sorry, how much interest do they want here on a $60,000 loan?
Hey, let's see what they want $600.
No, total interest over 30 years.
Oh, total interest. Total interest payment would be $162,181.20.
That is a $60,000 loan. They want way more in interest. Look at that. Look at this. Total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 270%. Now let's get down to payment number one, and I want you to apply what you just learned. Look at those principal payments. The higher the interest rate, the lower the principal payment. Are you looking at this thing differently? Are you looking at through my Asperger's eyes now?
Yes.
What are you, girl? What are you seeing right now?
Oh my goodness, the interest is outrageous. Like, I would probably, how we did the thing with line 12? Yeah. I would be paying that immediately up front, all the way down to 12, probably all the way down to like 20 if I could, and just to get it out the way.
And how much is that? How much is down to line 12?
Line 12 is $217.78.
So are you saying just because of what you learned, you've prepaid $217.78? You're paid down to line 12 in 1 month. You save how much interest?
I'm saving, let's see.
Look at cumulative interest, column 4.
Oh, I was up there counting. I'm like multiplied in my head. All right, so $7,188.26 is already.
Have mercy! Look at that! Look at that! Look at my tiny principal payments. So if I was on payment number 1, how much would I have to pay the bank extra to get rid of the interest on line 2? How much?
Just the extra $17.
And look at that. The higher the interest rate. So what you could have learned is that your high interest rate on your car could have been a blessing if you only knew how to read this thing. How about that?
That's awesome.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming to the stage today.
Thank you.
You've helped a lot of people. If you want to know more about this, folks, you want to go to the link that I have pinned at the top, ice10klive.com. When you see that, you will go, when you click on that or you put it into your browser, ice10klive.com, you will then see a button that says get a savings and earnings report. All right, so second button down on the right-hand side. And then once you get that, you will click that button and it will take you to a page where we're going to ask you to verify your cell phone number. Once that's verified, we will let you into our financial form. Put all of your financial data in there, and then someone from my staff will contact you, and you will then be given you can get a consultation. And once you get the consultation, you can know the month, day, and year you'll be debt free and how much interest you can save. And then that interest savings, we can talk to you about how to take that money and invest it in developing your family's generational wealth. Oh my gosh, folks, I am so excited about this. Thank you so much, Chanel, for bringing your questions to the stage. And I hope you're complete this morning.
Yes, I really am. I'm over here just I'm logging into your to everything. I'm trying to get as much information as I can. I really appreciate you. Jared always does this. Thank you, Jared. He always does. He always brings great people on that really enhance our well-being in life. I really appreciate it.
Well, listen, while you're at it, you might as well get my book too. And once
I'm up here, I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
And listen, do you have a digital business card?
I don't. I just seen them recently. I'm such a dinosaur. I'm learning all about it.
Well, let me tell you, once you get the book, we're going to tell you how to get a digital business card. And we have the founder of the company here today. 10K, are you in the house? Because, I mean, he's on multiple stages. So listen, we're going to have Miss Kenyatta, who hasn't had a chance to introduce herself. Miss Kenyatta, are you in the house today?
I am. Good morning, good people.
All right. Will you tell Miss Chanel, who's in business for herself, when she gets this book that's going to help her and her family, how she can get a digital business card just like mine, just because she bought the book?
Hi, beautiful. What you want to do is screenshot your receipt. You're going to go to i10klive.com and upload the receipt to where it says, I'm ready. It's going to be over to your right, the second spot down. Then you're going to build out your card to your specifications, including your business website, social media handles, email address, phone number. Let us know where you want it received because it's a digital card. We deliver it digitally. And you will receive your own 10K card value at $100.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adams.
Yeah. So it's paid for by my company, and you are going to get it for free. Well, so that you can because you bought that book that's going to help you and your family. All right, Jared, back to you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much, for the kind words and also for coming up and asking that question. I think everybody got a lot of value out of that exchange. If you're new to this room, definitely make sure you click that greenhouse at the top and follow the club. Also, make sure you click on Don's profile and give Don a follow as well. And click that always on button next to the follow so that every time he pops on the stage, you'll be alerted. And also, check out the profiles of all these amazing moderators. Zali, Credit Goddess, Coffee, Kirk, 10K Cards, Kenyatta, Sheila, and Sharon. They all host amazing rooms, and your hallway is curated by who you follow. So if you're not following the folks on the stage, don't miss out on some amazing content. Check them out, check out their replays, and definitely give them all a follow. All right. So with that being said, I'd like to see if Michelle, thank you for talking in the back channel. What you want to, there you go, you're off mute. Please ask your question.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm visually impaired and I could not find the unmute button at first, so I apologize.
No worries at all.
Please forgive me, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty operating Clubhouse with the new changes. But my question is, I noticed, and I actually was an athlete, in high school, and I've noticed that most of the money paid. I have a mortgage, and most of the money paid is going toward interest.
Yes.
If what happens if you choose to pay principal only? And I do have some more questions, but that's my first question.
All right.
I want to try to capture. I have somebody here to help me, if he can stay in place, to write down your site for YouTube and about the books. But I'm very interested, and so my first question is, what if you choose to pay principal only? What happens when you do that?
Okay. So if you're talking specifically about a mortgage?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, you have to make sure that you make the full regular payment first. Okay. Then any money you put on that mortgage before the next mortgage payment is due is called a prepayment. All of that money goes to principal if you direct the bank to put it there. So now what we've been taught to look at is how much we bring the principal down. What we have not been taught is how much interest we actually save when we do. In the example that I had before, as little as $200 prepaid to that loan will save about $1,000 in interest.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So if I pay them $200 in principal, that brings down $1,000 off the interest?
Well, it depends on the loan. On this particular loan, that would be true. On your loan, it would be different. But know this, you're going to save significantly more interest than you put down on the loan as principal payment in most cases. And it's important for you to know how much interest you're saving per dollar. So going to the grocery store or going to a department store, you're buying stuff on sale. They print on the bottom of the receipt how much you saved. Is that correct?
Yes.
How much? Why do they do that?
I guess it's a marketing ploy,
right?
Because they're really charging enough to cover that in the first place.
Right. But you get a good feeling about buying something on sale. I didn't buy it at the full price they were looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a marketing ploy.
Okay. Well, here's what's not happening when you pay extra on your mortgage or any other loan. They're not printing anything telling you how much you saved. You know you're saving. And you know you're saving interest, and you know you're saving time. But they don't tell you. You know what's worse, Michelle?
What?
We don't even bother to ask. We give the bank money and don't even know what we're getting, and we don't even ask. How much did I just save with this money? That's how we've been conditioned, to give the bank money and not even ask what we're getting. We just trust them that by giving them the extra money, things are going to turn out okay. Don't you think it's time out that we stop doing that?
Certainly.
Okay. So this is why we're here. This is why we exist. So people can know exactly what to do with their money. What if there was a system, like a GPS system, that would tell you exactly how much to pay, what month to pay it in, what day of the month to pay it on, and which loan to attack, and then it would tell you exactly how much interest you saved to the penny.
Great.
There is a system that does exactly that. It's called the P.I.L.L method, Opportunity Cost Calculator. Does all of that. Keeps track of all of your debt and helps us to get out of debt in an average of 7 to 9 years using our current budget without sacrificing lifestyle. You can take your current budget and make it do more for you, because we're going to optimize the interest savings with the money that you have available.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a big math problem. And our company has solved that math problem. So that's your first question. What happens when you just pay principal? You save a ton of interest. That's question number one. What's question number two?
Well, I see that you can't just make during your monthly payment, you can't just pay principal only. You still have to pay their interest.
Yep, you have to pay.
There seems that there should be a way to split it up. Like I want to pay this much in interest and I want to pay this much in principal.
Right. So here's what you would do.
Is there no way to do that?
Nope. What you want to do is when you want to take a look at what's actually happening with a loan. Okay. Banks do one thing. They do it very well. They want us to borrow their money. And in fact, are we really just renting their money? Are we paying rent on the money? Rent is nothing. Interest is nothing more than rent on the money. Here, use my money. I'll rent it out to you. Here's what I'll charge to rent it. You can take my money and you can buy something with it, like a house or a car. So interest is nothing more than rent. So here's what we're saying is that once we figure out what the real problem is, it's the interest. So what you want to ask is there a way that I can give the bank back their money without giving them all of that interest? Isn't that the real question?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we are with this. So if we take a look at how much money you have left over after all the bills are paid, then you want to know, what can I do with this money? How can I give it to the bank where I'm killing the maximum amount of interest per dollar? Where I could save $6 for every dollar instead of just $3 for every dollar. I want to know the difference. Somebody's got to do the math to do that. So here's what we're telling you, and everybody on this that's in the listening lounge. What we're doing is focusing on a system that uses math, not magic, to pay off your debt. And when you know the exact math involved, you can know exactly what to do. And guess what? You don't even have to do the math. Just plug the numbers into our computer system. Our computer system does all the math for you, tells you exactly what month to pay your extra amount in, exactly which loan to attack, exactly how much money to move, and then you will know exactly how much interest you're saving per dollar. It's going to be the maximum. That when you have a computer system that does all of that, it just takes all the guesswork out of it, doesn't it?
Okay. I want to, if Anthony will come back in here.
Yes.
Are you here? Anthony? He's going again.
Okay. Come on, Anthony.
I'm trying to get him back in because I need to write down, I can't write it myself.
Okay.
Because of vision loss. I want to write down your site to go to YouTube.
Okay.
And I want to write down the book. So if you would forgive me for just a moment.
No, go ahead.
Anthony, come in. I need you to write. I need you to write this information down. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But this is the life as a.
Hey.
I haven't been fully trained either, or I could.
Can Anthony hear me now?
Do it another way. Yeah, I still hear you.
All right. So here's what we're doing. So first,
let me let him get ready. Do you have a book? And this is P.I.L.L method.
Okay.
And Jared, this is your company, but you mentioned some other people. It's P.I.L.L method, P.I.L.L method, and like Jared Albritton.
Well, actually, the company's owned by Don Daniels. But what
Don Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what we can also do is make sure we can DM you the information as well. But feel free to write it down now. But just to make sure you have all the information, we'll DM you the links.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We'll send that to you.
Does that mean when
you want to have him write down?
Does that mean you're putting in the back channel for me, or what?
Correct. Yeah, the back channel.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to write down ICE, which stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. ICE, the number
ICE.
The number 10.
10.
The letter K.
ICE 10. K.
.com. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. So and then if you want to get to everything that we do, you want to write down ice10klive.com. So both of those work.
All right. Then right down below that, Anthony, ice10k live, live.com.
There you go. Now that will take you
And what is the other stuff that you do on ice10 live?
Okay.
ice10k live.
Well, there's a button to take you to Amazon to get the book. There's a button that you can, it'll take you to our website page where you can get a savings and earnings report. There's a button for that. Mm-hmm. There's also a button.
Is your book audio? Do you have an audio book?
No, I do not.
Is it audio?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And the reason why we don't have an audio book is because we have charts and graphs that kind of explain what we do.
Okay, yeah. Well, that kind of leaves me out.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. We have people who are visually impaired on the program, and we just fix it up so they can have a little help. Okay?
You did what to it?
So we work with our people who are visually impaired. We just have to team them up with somebody, a family member or a friend, and they can get a lot done.
Yeah, well, where I live, my family is not here. I'm kind of, by myself. And
well, listen, we can work all of that out because we do a lot of stuff on Zoom, and we can bring several people into the same platform. So if this is something you want to do, hit us up on the back channel, and let's see how we can figure all this out for you. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
So here's what we want. Here's what we want you to do. We're having a conference, an event in May on mindset. Okay. Once you have the right mindset, nothing, and I mean nothing or no one gets in the way of you achieving whatever goal it is. There's always a way to get it done. Okay. And that's why we're talking about mindset, even in this day and time. Visually impaired, financially impaired, might have some money trauma in my past, or whatever is going on in my life. There is a mindset that you can develop that will get you to where you want to go. And this is why we're talking. This is why we're having that seminar in May in Nashville. I'm telling you. Okay. So let us help you.
Is that going to be virtual or?
It is going to be virtual as well. There is a link to that as well. And we're going to be putting that up on the screen right now. So right now, folks, we're going to be in Nashville in May talking about this very thing. What mindset do we need to get through this time? COVID, inflation, gas prices going through the roof. Food is going through the roof. The stock market is taking a tumble. You know how much money I've lost in the stock market? Oh my gosh. So what we're talking about, folks.
Don't talk about.
Okay. So what can hold on for a second. What can we do to get to the point where we can have the right mindset to get us to where we're going to go? We have 16 speakers from around the country. A lot of them are from this app, and they're going to be talking to us not only about how successful they are, but the mindset that got them there. This is called developing a spiritual money mindset. And on top of all the speakers that are going to be talking about personal credit and business credit and social media and mindset limitations and how to start your own bank and become a lender instead of a borrower, developing passive income, how to pay off your mortgages in 7 years. We're not just going to be talking about those things and how you can develop your own business. We're going to be talking about having the mindset that says, you know what, no matter what happens to me, I am going to make it through. And the top mindset coach, the number one motivational speaker in the world, Dr. Eric Thomas. That's right. Your boy E.T. is going to be in the building. And we're getting ready in just a couple of seconds to play one of his videos in just a few seconds. So if it's queued up, let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas and just get a little bit about what you're going to hear in Nashville.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't get what they don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here and your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.
On the stage, Mr. Sean 10K. Sean, talk to us about developing that mindset and what's going to happen in May.
You know, Don, when you realize that the small steps that you're going to take daily is not going to kill you, it's going to propel you, you'll start living differently. There's a lot of people out there who think that making a few small moves here and there can actually harm them. It can actually hurt them. It can. So when you release that fear of losing and you embody that fear of winning, the way you started to move and operate will be completely different. So one of the things I'm looking forward for at the conference is meeting with individuals who will be speaking on their craft and literally exposing to us how what they have now become a professional at was just a very simple journey from being unaware to taking small steps daily to becoming a master at what they do. I'm going to be simply focused on marketing, how you can market your brand, how you can market your business. I love the fact that you're teaching individuals how to save on interest, that they're paying back on their loans. But what I want to teach individuals on is how to market them from within themselves, where they can maximize their impact on the marketplace. Because when we successfully do that, we're going to show them how to make some extra dollars that they can put behind their interest. And as you rightly said, we're not going to get wealthy making more money. We're going to get wealthy by paying less than interest. So if you're making more money and you're learning to pay less than interest, I think that combination is going to be completely sickening. Now, I'm only speaking on marketing. What's going to happen to all the other professionals out there? Jared will be speaking on crypto and the metaverse. Eric Thomas will be speaking on motivation and basically getting your mind correct. We have Jay Matthews is going to be there speaking on short-term rentals. All the professionals will be in the room, guys, touching on different topics, and you definitely want to be a part of that conversation. Because the difference in the world is this. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen regardless. But how you position yourself based on what's going to happen will make all the difference in the world. So anyone that's actually listening to this audio, guys, or you're looking at the tape in the future, ask yourself this question. What does your family deserve? What does the kids in your family deserve? What does your community deserve? And what they deserve is a better version of you. And the only reason you're going to get better is by aligning yourself and positioning yourself with others that's actually winning and that's actually willing to show you the path that they took to get them from where they once were to where they are today, which is in the winning realm. So what Don has done, he's put together a bunch of star presenters to come on stage, professionals that have actually done it, to come and share with the audience, whether it's going to be physical or virtual, as to what they can do to move their game from where they are now to where they're to what their desired destination is. So looking forward to you guys. Dear guys, it's going to be May 20th to the 22nd. I'm going to be there. My wife is going to be there. We're bringing the kids there as well because we're going to write it off as a family vacation. Because if you're going by yourself and you're not taking the family with you, it's going to make the journey much harder. So make it simpler, guys. Make it an event. And most importantly, expose your kids at a very early age as to what financial literacy looks like. So if you want to tap into a financial money mindset, definitely, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here. With that done, I'll pass my back over to you.
All right, Kurt. Kurt, do we have anybody online that has a question?
No questions online I
All
think
right.
people
So,
came over from Clubhouse to just kind of see the examples, but they were already listening in the Clubhouse room.
all right, all right, all right. So listen, so Jared, we have some other moderators in the room that need to introduce themselves. Can we do that at this time?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. In PTR order, it looks like Coffee is probably with their students. If she isn't, feel free to unmic. But if she is with her student, just go ahead and check out her bio, check out her 10K card, coffee10k.com, and check out her replays and her social media. But Kirk, I'm going to pass it to you.
All right. My name is Kirk Nugent. Get the opportunity and privilege to serve as your producer for this show. Doing double duty right now, so can't. Usually I jump on camera and get a chance to hang out with Don. But yeah, I love live video strategy, live video marketing. I believe that your live stream is your digital storefront. This is how you show the world what it is you have to offer, your services, your products, everything. And there's something that happens when you are sharing your superpower with the world live that allows them to really truly experience what it is you have to offer. And they don't need the pitch. And so one of the things I love about what Don is doing and how he's utilizing live video is he's sharing with people immense value. I mean, people are walking away with changed mindsets on how they need to handle and manage their finances. And when that happens, it gives him credibility. It sets him up as a authority figure in this industry and allows him to share even more value with his clients through the P.I.L.L method system and the opportunity cost calculator. That could be you. And so if that's something you're interested in, we would absolutely love an opportunity to chat with you. Tap in with me at kirk10klive.com. kirk10klive.com. And I want to say a shout out to let me see if he's still here. Pastor John Coaxum, who's in the listening lounge, good friend. He just got a chance to preach at my church a few weeks back, so just wanted to give him a quick shout out. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Would love a chance to chat with you guys about live video. Definitely tapping with me. Oh, let me say one last thing before we go. And this, of course, the people online will be able to see this. People in the room won't, but this is a flyer for this coming Monday, where my guest on my live show on Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Time, is Mr. Don Daniel from the P.I.L.L Method. So excited to be able to have him come on and answer the question, why I go live. So we're excited to have him come through and hang out with us in that way.
All right, all right. Well, listen, thank you so much for that, Kirk. Listen, who's next?
10K, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Oh, sure. Super good morning, guys. How are you? So I'm actually founder and CEO of 10K Cards, and my goal literally is to help business owners and professionals position themselves correctly so their customers can have a better experience with them. What do I say when I mean that? What do I mean when I say that? Sorry. You got to put your website, your phone number, your social media, video testimonials, your calendar, your payment link, anything that you want to share with your audience. Say your audience, and if the best version of yourself is a secret, your clients will not be able to discover that. So put all the best of you in one place. That's your 10K card, your digital business card. And when you share that with everyone you know, and you have serviced them sufficiently, they can now share it with their community, their friends, and get you more business automatically. You're going to do the work anyway. You might as well put it in a place where everyone can see it. So if anyone out there does not have a digital card yet, guys, for this one, it's very simple. Get a copy of Don's book, fill out your savings and earnings report, and then claim your digital business card that was already prepaid by Don Daniel. After you get the basic version, I want to challenge you to do the upgrade. Because when you do the upgrade, we pay a 20% referral fee, which means you can take that 20% referral fee and again apply it to your loan. Because if you can get the extra money to put towards your loan, guys, I'll feel so much better than having to shave back your Starbucks bill, your small bills. Nope. I would say, hey, let's work and get us some more income, and that's my main focus. So if you combine getting more income and paying more on your interest, the interest that you're paying, then hey, it's a win-win situation, guys. So with that said, back to Jared.
All right, Kenyatta.
Good morning, good people. My name is Kenyatta. You can find me at kenyatta10k.com. And I am a real estate professional out of the state of Illinois. And I'm here to help you find the deal, finance the deal, cancel the interest on that deal to get you yet another deal. And I can do all of that as a realtor, as the official lender of this house, the P.I.L.L Method Room, and as a cancellation expert. So I want you guys to understand we have an opportunity to up level everybody around us. And so if you could share this room, subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would be great. Have a beautiful day, everyone.
Hey, no, Kenyatta. You can't stop. You can't.
Sharon, are you around?
Hold on for just a second, Jared. Kenyatta,
I'm here.
aren't you a speaker at the seminar as well?
Yes, I am indeed.
Okay.
I am, and I will be talking about the prerequisites on how to get your entities and everything set up in order to make you fundable so that you can come see me, so that you feel confident about taking advantage of, opportunities involving real estate and business, franchises, etc.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you,
Hey
Kenyatta.
guys, among the big speakers that's going to be on stage, we're going to have Kenyatta. Speaking of how to get your business set up. Kenyatta, you're going to smack when it's me, but I wasn't sure exactly what title to give you, Queen. And one thing I share with Don is, you've added so much tremendous value that is going to be such a happy pleasure to actually share the stage with you in Nashville. So shout out to you, Queen. Keep doing what you're doing.
I will. Thank you.
All right, Jared.
All right, and Sharon, are you around to intro yourself? All right, she's usually pretty quiet on the stage. So if you're interested in seeing more on your hallway, international flavor, Taiwan, etc., definitely tap in with Sharon. Check out her profile. Check out her social media, and we appreciate you for supporting the room and amplifying Don's message around the world. So we have 30 minutes left, actually like 26 minutes left. So that should be enough for one, maybe two more questions. So thank you to Michelle and Chanel for coming up on the stage, and I hope you got a lot of value. We'd love for somebody to raise their hand and ask a question before we close out the room. So please go ahead and raise your hand. I see a hand raised. Perfect. Okay, Michelle, I think might have additional questions. So we will let her up. If anybody else has a question, feel free to come up as well.
Just one quick one online here. That is from.
All right, cool. Let's see what Michelle has real quick, and then
Don, can you hear me?
And go to the online.
Yes, I can.
I don't think Jared can hear me.
I hear you.
He heard you.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure Michelle's taken care of. She might have one additional last question, and then I'll pass it back to you. So Michelle, if you can unmute, is there anything else we can do to help you?
Okay, I guess. Oh, there she goes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to know, Jared Albritton, what's your position in this? What is it that you are the expert at?
Yeah, so I'm really here just to support the room. I'm one of the lead moderators for the P.I.L.L Method. In terms of the P.I.L.L Method expertise, it's all about Don Daniels, who is to the left in the upper left-hand corner. Yeah, my expertise is in the tech space, the metaverse, the NFT and crypto space, but I also am host a lot of rooms on Clubhouse, which is why I have a pretty big following. And one thing I pride myself on is just supporting people that can give tangible resources and advice to further people's journey and success. So that's my role in this. But yeah, it's all about Don. When you reach out to ice10klive.com, you click the savings and earnings report, you will be working with him and his team to let you know one day and year you can be debt free, and they'll put you in a position to pay off your mortgage in 7 to 9 years.
Okay.
Let me share really quick. Jared would not say this himself, so I'm going to say it for him. Jared, in my opinion, is actually one of the mass moderators on Clubhouse. And when Don Daniel decided to spread his message on Clubhouse, we wanted to find the absolute best. And that's why he reached out to Jared. And Jared actually had his parents look at the program. They were very impressed with it. And then he was all on board with it. So just by me listening on the site to answer that question, in my opinion, I think Don went to him because he is one of the master moderators on Clubhouse, full of integrity, and most importantly, this right here fits right up his alley in educating and bringing others individual to be a little more financially savvy. Did that answer your question, Michelle?
Yeah, I pulled him up and I saw he was with it said tech startups, and
Okay.
I thought he would talk a little bit about that.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. No, I mean, I have a tech startup, and I also help tech startups get funding. But in this room, it's all about Don. I really don't promote what I do too much in this room. What I really want to promote is everything Don's doing. But happy to chat with you in the back channel about what I do. But yeah, I really want to make sure for the folks that came in the room for the title of how to pay off mortgages in 7 years, that we can give them that value.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much for the question. All right, Kirk, where is the online question? Let's serve them.
The question is from David Hunt. I don't know if you see it there, Don. We're putting it on the screen now. Is there a way to become a P.I.L.L Method affiliate?
Oh my goodness. He must have been reading my mind. That's one of the things we are going to be introducing in the next few days. But since he asked the question, we're going to let the cat out of the bag. We are growing so fast. There are two types of people we're looking for right now. We need people who can do administrative work, and we need people who want to become a P.I.L.L Method affiliate or salesperson, someone that can offer the P.I.L.L Method to individuals, and they'll be able to make those who are selling the program or bringing new clients on board, helping clients pay off their debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. Okay, they will be able to make $1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000 extra a month, helping people pay off their debt. If you're interested in becoming a P.I.L.L Method affiliate, we're going to have a whole system set up so that you can take advantage of the training that will be online. And if that is you, go ahead and hit us up on the back channel, and Sean and myself will make sure that you will not be left out when we actually launch the affiliate program officially in just a few days. So if that's something you're interested in, hit us up on the back channel and just put the word affiliate, and then we'll know what to do with your information. And give us some contact information, like a phone number and an email address, and we'll make sure that we will do to the system when we start teaching how to become a P.I.L.L Method affiliate online. Okay, go right ahead. Thank you for asking that question.
Thank you.
All right, so we got other hands going up now. Ms. Chanel, what do you got for us?
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was okay to speak.
Go ahead.
How do we, because I'm still new to Clubhouse,
right.
With learning Clubhouse, how do we hit up on the back channel? Like, how do we find that? Where do we find it?
Over on the right-hand side on the screen, it looks like a little paper airplane. When you hit that, you can message people.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Or you can click on
the back channel.
Or you can click on the profile of the person you want to talk to. All right, just tap the profile, and then it says, it will let you. You can see how to message somebody.
Okay, so that's the back channel. Okay, that's it. Okay,
that's the back channel. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. All right, anyone else? All right, I see a few people out in the audience there that I recognize and have talked to on a regular basis. So anyone, listen, anybody else? Oh, I just said, Latavius Jackson just showed up. All right, how are you doing, How are you doing, Latavius? How's everything? All right, listen, folks, if you want to ask a question or even if you have a comment, come up to the stage. We got something for you. But in the meantime, listen, we've got some information on, let me see here, on refinances. I want to put that on the screen as soon as I can. I got to figure out what screen it's going to go to. Oh, I see it now. All right. So we have to, we need to share it too.
And Don, while you're setting that up,
Right.
can you let people know how they can see this on their laptop or desktop if they are new to the room?
Hello, new people. We want you to go to I10K Live videos with an S.com, and it'll take you straight to YouTube where you can see not only this example, but past examples. You can become abreast of the P.I.L.L method even faster. You should subscribe, you should comment, and you should share and enjoy.
Yep, and just to clarify, i10kvideos.com. i10kvideos.com. And yeah, when you get there, you'll see some panels of some shows. Go to the one that says live, and you'll be able to see the example on the screen. All right. So yeah, back to you, Don. And also, if you're not doing so already, make sure you click the greenhouse, follow the club, and make sure you're following Don, and check out all the moderators as well. All right, back to you, Don.
All right, folks, here's, I've got an example on the screen. We call it Refi Fantasy, and hopefully maybe we'll have enough time to talk about why you never, ever, ever, ever put a large down payment on a loan based on the information you've been learning here. So if we have that $200,000 mortgage we were talking about showing on the screen before, it's at 6%. Well, listen, why not? If we're offered a 3% interest rate, and then we can take the closing costs and roll it into the loan, ooh, that would be pretty good, wouldn't it? All right. So it'll lower our payment and everything. Let's take a look at that. So we have a $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Monthly payment is $1,199.10. Now, what most people do, they refinance after 5 to 7 years. After 5 to 7 years. So we're going to take a look at what happens with this loan in the first 7 years. In the first 7 years, in the first year, look at this. We pay this loan down by $2,456 and a penny, but we also pay out $11,933.19 in interest, nearly $12,000. In year 2, we pay this loan down by only $5,000, but after 2 years, the loan is paid down by $5,000, but we've paid out $23,714.90 in just interest alone. If we skip all the way to year 7, after 7 years, we've paid this loan down by $20,721, but it costs $80,000 in interest. Folks, that's $100,000 paid out in just 5 years. But the loan itself is only paid down by $20,000. And do you know, this is when most people will go and refinance this loan? They've already been in it 7 years. And when they refinance it, most people refinance to a new 30-year loan. If you've been in the loan 7 years and you refinance to a new 30-year loan, doesn't that make it 37 years before you can get out of debt? Just to get a lower interest rate, just to get a lower payment. Now we have a 37-year loan. The first 7 plus a new 30. Now you've already paid $80,000 in interest. So let's take a look at our principal balance right now. We've paid it down to here, $179,278.87. Now we're going to refinance this loan to 3%. So when we take a look at this thing, $179,278.87. And the closing fees are actually closer to $10,000. But I'd cut that in half. Let's just say the closing fee is only $5,000 on this loan. So they take what you did owe, $179,000. We add $5,000 in closing fees, and they roll it into the loan. Our new loan amount is $184,278.87. At 3% for 30 years, our new payment is only $776.93. But when we take a look at this new loan, we're still paying $95,000 in interest on this new loan, on top of the 80 grand we've already paid, and it's still 51% instead of 6%. We're paying back 51% of what we borrowed, not 3%, 51%. So here's the old payment, $1,199.10. Here's the new payment, $776.93. That is a savings of $422.17 a month. Oh my gosh, I just reduced my mortgage payment by $400. How good do I feel? And we're just smiling because we've got a new 3% interest rate and we're saving $422 a month. But guess what? The bank is also smiling. How can both of us be smiling? How can both of us be happy? If I'm saving money, doesn't that mean that the bank has to be losing money? And if I stop to think about it more, why would they refinance me if they're losing money? One more time, folks, ask yourself this question. If you're saving money by refinancing, that would mean the bank is losing money. Why would they do it? Watch this. When we add that $5,000 on top of the loan, the number one thing we have to do is pay back the first $5,000 to get back down to the $179,000 we were when we refinanced. Just in 4 months, look at this. We paid the loan down by $1,269, but we've already paid $1,800 in interest on that loan. You see, when we rolled the loan, the $5,000 fee into the mortgage, we're actually borrowing that money. We're rolling in a loan inside another loan. So we have to pay back the first $5,000 first. So when we pay that $5,000 back, there's an interest cost on that when we put it in a mortgage. In 7 months, we paid the first $5,000 back by what? $2,230. It already cost us $3,000. Folks, let me ask you, would you ever borrow $2,200 for 7 months and pay $3,200 interest on that loan? Everybody who refinances does exactly this when they roll the fee into the loan. In 10 months, we paid the first $5,000 back by only $3,000. We're still struggling to pay off the fee. We haven't put a dime on that original principal. We're just paying off the $5,000 fee. And in 10 months, we've only paid it down by $3,100, but it costs us $4,500 in interest, and that's at 3%. Well, folks, by the time we pay back that $5,000, it actually takes 16 months to do it. 16 months. The $5,155.72 we paid back in 16 months, add $7,275.16 in interest. That's a total of $12,430.88 for that refinance. And finally, after 16 months, we can start back paying on the mortgage once again. We're finally back to $178,000. This is what happens. Let me point this out also. If you borrow $5,000 and you pay back $5,000 in interest when you pay that $5,000 back, folks, that's not 3% interest. That's 100% interest. People who have perfect credit are paying 100 to 150% interest on these new mortgages, and they don't even realize that they're doing it. $5,000 paid back at 3%, you're still paying $7,200 interest. There is no way on God's green earth. If your credit union sent you a notice and said, we want to lend you $5,000 for 16 months, and we want to charge you 100% interest on that loan. This is actually it's 120% because they're paying back $7,000 in interest, not $5,000. 120%. You would never, ever sign that loan. But when we roll it into a mortgage like this, we don't realize we're paying 120% interest. Man, oh man. Now, let's take a look at down payment deception. A lot of people that I know, we just had this question come up, and not too long ago, one of our clients says, listen, we're getting a new loan, and we took some cash out. We're buying some additional property. Should we put a large down payment on the loan? I said, let's take a look at the math. Remember, the P.I.L.L method is about math, not magic, not how you feel, not what you think, not what you heard, but look at the math and let that help you to make a decision. So we have a local business person who is has a $400,000 mortgage. And this is his question. I have enough resources to put $100,000 down on this mortgage, and that way I can have a $300,000 mortgage for 30 years instead of a $400,000 mortgage. And the interest rate is at 3%. Here's what I told him. You don't want $300,000 mortgage. You want the $400,000 mortgage. And he said, what are you talking about? When we did the comparison, because he's an engineer, all right? So he says, well, side by side, on the left side is the $400,000 mortgage. On the right side is the $300,000 mortgage. And if you're new to the room, you want to see this example. How can they, hey folks, how can they see this example that I have on the screen right now?
Go to 10K videos with an S.com, and you'll be taken to YouTube where you can see these examples and past examples. Please share, like, and subscribe.
Exactly. That's ICE. That stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. ICE, 10kvideos.com. It'll take you to our YouTube channel, and you can see these examples on screen. And right now I have on the screen a summary comparison, $400,000 versus $300,000. And it says down, well, listen, on the $400,000 loan, my payment would be $1,686.42. On the $300,000 loan, my payment would only be $1,264. The annual interest rate is the same on both, but the total amount of interest paid on the $400,000 loan is $207,000. Well, on the $300,000 loan, my total interest paid is $155,000. But what I showed him is that, listen, the bank doesn't care. They make their money on percentages. They make the same money in percentages on both loans. 51.777%. They make the same percentage on both loans. So which one do you think they would rather have? Where you give them $100,000 right up front, they still make 51%, and then they can turn around and lend out that $100,000 again? Oh my goodness. Here's what's going on. So he was pointing out the fact that the interest cost on both loans for 30 years, and he says the difference is I save $51,779.60 in interest over the 30-year span. $51,000 I save. So it says, well, I said, well, now let's take a look at the $400,000 loan. The $400,000 loan, if we do this, you're going to pay your payment of $1,686.42. Okay, $686.42 goes to principal, $1,000 goes to interest. He says, wow, look at that, Don. Why would I do that? I said, well, where's your $100,000 right now if you got this loan? He says, my $100,000 is still in the bank. I said, well, consider this. Now apply your $100,000 as a principal prepayment to this loan instead of a down payment. Look what happens when you do. If you put that with your first payment, you're all the way down to line 125 on this amortization schedule. You just saved $110,000 all at once. Watch this. Look at this. They're applying $100,000 as a prepayment. They save $110,000 in 1 month, not $57,000 over 30 years. And we just took off 10 years, 3 months of payments instantly off this loan. What does that mean? If he had put the $100,000 down as a down payment and got the $300,000 loan, he would have a brand new loan starting out at $300,000 on payment number one. Doing it this way, he still has a $300,000 loan, but he starts out on payment number 126. Not payment number one. He knocks off 10 years, 3 months instantly. So instead of starting out with a 30-year loan to have his $300,000, he only has 19 years, 9 months left using the same money. This is why we call it down payment deception. Never put a large payment as a down payment on a loan. Use your money as prepayments to kill a lot of time and a lot of interest. Now, he says, Don, well, what can I do with this P.I.L.L method now? So we put his program in the entire P.I.L.L method, and he's following our plan. And by continuing to use the P.I.L.L method, he will pay off the rest of his loan in just 7 years. And the amount of interest that he will pay in total is only $30,000 when the bank wanted $207,000. He's only going to pay $30,000. So what is he going to do with the $177,000 in interest that he didn't have to pay to acquire the same asset? He can use it any way he chooses, and now he's going to use that money to invest in his family. And folks, I instantly became his new best friend. Folks, listen, do we have any other comments out there? Any other questions about what we've got going on? And where are we as far as time, Jarrett?
We are at the end of the time.
Are you kidding me already?
Yes. Time flies when you're added value. So, yep, we have exhausted the 2 hours. So what we can do is, first off, if you're new to this room and you would like to see more of this content, make sure to click the greenhouse at the top and follow the club. Also, make sure that you follow Don and click the always on notifications, as well as you can go to iCinklive.com and follow him on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and most importantly, YouTube, where you'll be able to watch all of the past videos we've done. We've had 60 episodes. So you'll be able to see all of those episodes on the YouTube. So what we're going to do is a moderator outro. Before we do so, Don, would love for you to remind everybody about your Amazon best-selling book and then the amazing conference that'll be happening May 20th to the 22nd.
Oh my gosh. Listen, what we're doing, folks, is you want to get the book today and get a 10K card that goes along with it. You go to ice10klive.com. You'll see the button there that says get the book, buy the book, upload your, we're going to tell you how you can get your, upload the screenshot. All of the instructions are on the 10K card. And then you can get our #1 best-selling book to help you to understand what's going on in learning how to read an amortization schedule and find out how you can get your own opportunity cost calculator to be able to guide you like financial GPS to get out of debt in 7 to 9 years. And then also, folks, find the button that says get a savings and earnings report. Fill out that information, and we will tell you specifically when you will be debt free in a 7 to 9 year window and how much interest you can save. Now, folks, I can't wait to see all of you in Nashville, Tennessee in May 20 through the 22nd, where we're going to have fabulous speakers from all over the country will be there. Okay, here's some of the speakers from Clubhouse. We have Miss Cooper Home Loans and Jonathan Bing from the Real Estate Cafe are going to be there talking about the play. What is that? They're going to be talking about how you can become a lender. You can lend up to about $8 million on commercial loans, and you don't need a license. That's what they're going to be talking about, folks. And who else is going to be there? Jay Massey is also going to be there, expert in short-term rentals. Otis James, real estate investing, multifamily, is going to be there. Anthony Glenn, who's an expert on how to use your VA benefits so that you can level up your real estate game using your VA benefits. Jared is going to be there talking about the metaverse and mindset. We're going to have Jacob Jennings there, Stephanie Gutierrez. Oh, and listen, we cannot leave out Miss Kenyatta Butcher, who's also going to be there talking about lending and how this system has even helped her. Sean 10K is going to be there talking about marketing and his savage marketing. Flame Newton talking about credit. Listen, we're just going to have so much information there. And not only that, but we're going to be putting that all in the context of mindset. How these people, they're going to be dropping gems on what you can do to level up your business. But they're also going to be telling you the mindset that they developed to get them where they are today. And the number one mindset coach in the world, the number one motivational speaker in the world is going to be there, Dr. Eric Thomas. So I want you to hear again from Dr. Eric Thomas, from his own lips, what you're in for. Let's go.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your grandma counting on you to do the right thing. Your mama counting on you. Your cousins, your brothers and sisters are counting on you to cash in on this opportunity. Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. There are kids that don't eat like you eat. They're at the same university. They don't get what you get. But with this right here and your skill set, this thing can take you wherever you want to go and then take your kids wherever you want them to go. You know how many people would die to have the gear y'all got? You know how many people would die to get on these planes and travel the world? You know how many people would die to have your life? And you got it. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog? Do you got that stamina? So yeah, you might have something I don't have right now, but if I work hard, I can have what you have. I want you to chant it out. This is it. Be phenomenal or be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Be phenomenal, be forgotten.
Barely read or write, and then go all the way to get his doctorate, write several books, and now is the number one motivational speaker in the world. How do you go from having Asperger's like me, and I didn't even read my first book all the way through until I was 46 years old, and now we have a multinational company. It takes mindset to get you there. Sean 10K, if you're in the building, can you talk to us about what's going to be happening, and you can do your outro at the same time? Oh, is he in another room? I guess he's in another room. Listen, Kenyatta, talk to us about, do your outro, would you please, and tell us what you expect to see in Nashville, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yes, of course. So again, my name is Kenyatta, and you can find me at Kenyatta10K.com, and I can help you find the deal, finance the deal, capture the interest on that deal to get you yet another deal. And I am looking forward to this event, you guys. I love networking. primarily because I am still formulating my tribe. Everybody that's around me does not speak like me, does not have thoughts and concerns like me. But when I go to events such as this one, I am able to be around like-minded individuals, and I grow and I stretch and I come out of it with yet another person to be attached to my success story, and I can attach to theirs. And so I encourage you, if you are squeamish about it, to join the live. Don't just discount the information. But if you can attend, do so, because you never know what might happen. I have formed a family from Clubhouse events, and I'm actually in a physical home right now from a relationship that I built that started with an event. And so I just want to encourage you guys to just shock yourselves every now and again. You need to do that. And I'll be talking about me, like after the play, right? Miss Cooper Home Loans and Jonathan Bean has a course called Biz Fund Academy, and they also go on tours when they help people at all levels with Turo and everything. And so I joined the play. I actually am a part of the Biz Fund Academy. I took the class. I absolutely think it was the best choice for my life. And so I'll be talking about the prerequisite, what you actually need to get started before you are fundable, because I want you to have the money, and I can assist you with that as well.
All right, Sean 10K, are you in the building?
Man, how can I not be in the building, man? And following Kenya, she makes it so hard for others to follow her because she dropped that dynamic bomb with a big smile on her face. Kenya, you need to stop it, as Dawn would normally say. But guys, it's always a pleasure being in the room. It's always a pleasure being a part of the conversation. And most importantly, Don is always bringing the value, always bringing the heat. And I would recommend any and everyone here in the room that aligns themselves with his message, take action on it. Whether you're going to act on it personally or you're going to share it with someone you care or someone you love, then it's still a win. Also, with the upcoming seminar, the upcoming event that's going to be in Tennessee, I'm looking forward to seeing as much individually as possible. It's going to be a game changer, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So with that said, Don, I pass my back over to you, brother.
All right, Jared, you can do your outro, please.
Yes. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm as well. I want people to have an empowered mindset about technology in the future of Web 3.0, the metaverse, and how everybody should have a seat at that table. Everybody can be part of the incredible financial opportunity, but also the opportunity to connect with people all over the world, build relationships, and build community. So I'll be talking about that. Also, if you check out my Instagram, there's a link in my bio. I'm doing a 5-episode season on another app called Voices, where you actually be able to see my face. We'll be bringing some metaverse experts on the stage from metaverse environments like CryptoVoxels, Decentraland, Superworld, AltSpace, Meta, Sandbox, and so many others. And we'll be diving into how to get onboarded, how to navigate, how to buy real estate, how to buy tokens, how to make money, how to build community, how to do a lot of different things. So if you're interested in that topic, it's every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. And you just click the link in my Instagram or Twitter bio, and you can sign up for the season. It's only $30 for the 5 episodes. We're going to make it super affordable, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And then on the 20th to the 22nd, we'll be talking all about mindset when it comes to taking advantage of these opportunities. Whether you feel like you're tech savvy, or you feel like you're older, or you feel like it's too complicated, I want you to know it's not. And then mindset has been really important for me, period, just in terms of my career. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react. And so I'll be definitely sharing some of the things that got me to where I am today, and how adversity is only learning lessons to get you to the next goal. All right, with that being said, I think Credit Goddess popped back up. So Credit Goddess, I'd love for you to give an outro before we close up the room.
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. If you guys are interested in any of my services, whether it's a done for you or a DIY, personal or business credit, definitely tap in with me. Text me your name and your email address to the number in my bio. That is 888-557-5778. I do offer free consultation if you just want to understand how my services work. If you want for me to dive deep into your credit and tell you exactly what you need to do, whether it's personal credit or even business credit, definitely tap in with me on that. Text me your name and email address to the number in the bio, or you can go to creditgoddess10k.com. Thank you guys so much for having me, and I'll see you on Friday.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you Friday. We do this from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you haven't already, click the greenhouse at the top, follow the club, and check out all the replays in the P.I.L.L Method Club, as well as the YouTube replays. All right, Don, I'm going to give you the last word, and we can close it out.
All right. Thank you, folks. Listen, I'm excited to not only be here 4 days a week, but I'm excited about the upcoming conference only because I know my personal journey with money mindset and how devastating it could be to your future earnings if you have a negative mindset instead of a positive one. Things are going on right now that can be very difficult to work through. And we put together this conference so that you can level up, make sure that you have the right mindset to help you to succeed. I hope to see you there in Nashville, May 20 through the 22nd. Click on the link above. You can go to ice10kevents.com or our regular link, which is ice10klive.com, and get to the ticket section. This, because of the magnitude of the speakers that are going to be there, and Dr. Eric Thomas, who's our keynote, this conference will sell out. You want to be there in the space. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday. Come back and bring somebody with you. All right? Kirk Nugent, take us out.